Hello, it's Red! And today, I am going to be reading you some r/MaliciousCompliance. Because I know you like that, and I do too. Okay, let's get going! Waited 1 year to take my hoodie off. I was in an anime club in high school for all 4 years, and every year we got to miss class to go take the club pictures for the yearbook. The lady taking pictures was overworked, probably underpaid, but most of all, she was a real jerk. 10th grade, I was in line with the rest of the club and I was told to take my hoodie off. She was very aggressive about it, and while we were trying to be fun and pose, this wasn't a problem for any other club, just the nerds like us, I guess. She told us, "Shut up and put your hands at your sides." So we took our boring picture, all of us frowning, but I waited. I had an idea. Next year, club pictures came, and I made sure I was wearing a hoodie with no shirt underneath. Same lady, same vitriolic hatred for nerds like us. "Take that hoodie off," she said, and I frowned, looked at her, and slowly lifted it off. I was 16 at the time, very tall and very hairy. She looked away and said audibly, "What the F?" Before I could get a word in edgewise, she told me to put it back on and we took the pictures as normal. We even got to hold up peace signs, which, as you may know, 2010 weeboos loved. Okie dokie, give the like button a pokey, and let's get on with our next story. You're too important to take the first aid class? Have fun failing the test. This happened in 2018. My husband and I own a company that works with companies to provide doctors and nurses for factories and construction, OSHA and first aid training, and some other things. One of our major accounts is a power company. We not only provide on-site personnel, but also train them on first aid. This particular company is very strict on their health and safety protocols. They require all their crews to have up-to-date first aid certificate, and they have shelled out a decent amount of money to equip each of their sites, including their offices, with 2 AEDs. We were also required to provide an adjusted training for their staff and crews. Because of the nature of the job, we trained them in 3 hours, 2 days schedule. 1 day was theory, because in a factory environment, instead of ABC, you do EABC, with a written test at the end, and the next day was a practical exam. We were scheduled for a 2-day training with this company. We were told it would be a small class, around 40 people, so I booked myself and our senior trainer. We arrived for the training, set up, get the roll call, and that's when it happened. As I said, this company is very hardcore in their health and safety. Except for the crews, they require every person that has even the slightest chance of visiting a power plant to have a current first aid certificate. This means we trained a lot of suits. As the room is filling up, I noticed my senior trainer, John, talking with a woman I didn't know. The conversation is heated and I approach to see what's happening. Is everything okay? "No, it's not. As I was saying to this man, I don't need to take this class. I did first aid in my previous company and I have very important work to do." "As I explained, madam, we're following the company policies about training." "But I already know everything." "Madam, your manager booked you for this class. He probably thinks it's more important than anything else." "No, I'm very high in the company. If you don't release me immediately, you may lose your contract." At that point, she looked at us with crossed arms and a smug face. John, being a no-nonsense former trainer for the Army's Medical Corps, was ready to explode. Cue malicious compliance. There was a rule for the training set by the company that any personnel that could provide an up-to-date certificate could sign a waiver for the in-person training, but they had to take the test. I quickly provided this as an option to Karen. She wasn't completely happy, but she took it. I explained there were 2 tests, one in writing, one practical. She said fine and to notify her when it was time to take them. So 2.5 hours later, she's sitting to take the written test. Immediately I can see she's struggling, since most of the questions are tailored for an industrial setting. The test ends and we collect the papers. At a quick glance, I know she had, at best, passed with a very low grade. Despite her struggling in theory, she just came for the test the next day. In this case, I knew she was going to fail. Along with their normal CPR, we had added AED training as per company rules. And despite being a fairly easy and straightforward machine to use, she had serious trouble. So we pack up, go back to base. We rate the tests, and as expected, she was the only one who'd failed, both spectacularly. From the other 39 people, only one had failed the written test. We sent the results and certificates to the company. Monday morning, just after we opened, I got a call from Chad, the company's COO. He is one of our major contacts because training was part of his responsibilities. The call went like this. Good morning, I'm calling about the results of the training. Good morning, Chad. I had a feeling you would call. Can you tell me why my assistant COO failed? Is Karen your assistant? Yes. Well, she said she had very important work to do and already had a certificate, and she signed the waiver. Of course she did. I could hear the frustration in his voice. Can we arrange a quick training for today? I want you to do it. Let me check. It has to be a late one. Otherwise tomorrow morning at 10? Tomorrow then. See you at the office. The next day rolls around and at 10 sharp I'm at the offices. I'm led to the conference room, glassed all around and told to wait. A few minutes later, Chad and Karen step into the room. She looked chastised. She sat across from me while Chad stood. Chad asked for the waiver, which I handed to him. He took a look at it and gave it back. As I explained when you were hired, you had to pass this training. The certificate you gave us was coming up and you came from a different field. Now, do the training properly and pass it. It is one of the prerequisites for the job. Karen took the training properly this time and passed. Since then, she has never complained about first aid training again. When I did first aid in high school, which was many years ago now, I still remember Dr. ABC. Danger, response, airway, breathing, circulation. Okay, here's our next story. Tell me not to come in if I don't comply? Okay, deal. This happened a long time ago at a company we'll call The Company, with a plant manager we'll call Richard. Richard was paid production bonuses, and in his infinite wisdom, greed, he told his superiors that we could get out more production than 2 plants our size could get out reasonably. With the aging equipment he refused to replace or repair, we were getting seriously behind and now needed to run 24/7 just to stay as behind as we already were. A side note here, our handbook states quite clearly that Sunday work was strictly voluntary and was to be requested by the supervisor by Thursday at lunch. Needless to say, attendance on Sundays was abysmal at best since many of us had families and other important things in our life. Richard decided this wouldn't do and called a plant-wide meeting on one particular Thursday right before lunch. It has come to my attention that many of you are abusing, yes, he actually said that, the Sunday voluntary workday status, so I'm changing this effective immediately. He didn't have that authority. So, if any of you choose not to come in on Sunday, don't bother coming back on Monday. Understand? Are you serious? Yes. Okay. For clarification, we were working 2 shifts, 12 hours each, round the clock at this point, and apparently had the meeting with the other shift as well. Fallout. Me and about 3 others got together and all decided to give him what he wanted. We didn't come in on Sunday or Monday. By Monday morning around 7 a.m, my phone was blowing up with texts and missed calls. Finally I answered and it was Richard asking me, "Where the hell are you?" I politely said, "Enjoying my day off. Thanks again." Richard yelled back, "What do you mean day off? You're supposed to be here." I said, "No, you told us if we didn't come to work on Sunday not to come in on Monday, and frankly I thought that was very nice of you to give an extra day off like that." Richard, realizing his trap, changed tone slightly. "Well, that's not what I meant, and you know it. Now get in here as soon as you can." "Nope. You can't back out now. Next time say what you mean. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow." Then I hung up and turned off my phone. I had a great day playing games on PCs with my wife. Well, Richard really lived up to his name, didn't he? Well, I hope you all enjoyed those r/malicious compliance stories, read by me, Red. If you didn't like the video already, do it now. That's right, that's a thumbs up button, good job. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much. Goodbye.